All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to try to get this thing going again. All right, so I picked up this little Chinese ATV. It's a 125. I think it's a Coolster. I picked it up on Facebook Marketplace. I paid $250 for this, the body, which is in good shape, a bucket full of parts, and I guess during the pandemic, the prices on pretty much everything outdoors is skyrocketed. So these were going for $400 plus not running. I picked this one up for $250. I think on a typical day in a normal society, you can probably get them for like $700 shipped to your door. I think maybe a little bit more or less, but it's just not a normal time right now, and everything is skyrocketed in price. So I wanted a project anyways, and this will keep me busy for a bit. So let's check it out. So the first thing I noticed is this thing looks like it's been sitting for a while, but it seems like it has pretty low miles on it. The tires are pretty new looking. It doesn't look like it has a bunch of wear and tear. It just looks like it's been sitting for a while. Some of the wires are in bad shape. I don't even think that connection right there is the factory one. This one's broken. Here's where the key is. It's kind of, there's like spider webs and stuff inside of here. The wiring is just pretty much a complete mess. I don't even know if it's missing stuff or not. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up replacing all the wiring just so we can eliminate it. This stuff is pretty cheap. What is this? Air filter. Probably just go ahead and replace the carb as well. The rear brake has no resistance on it at all. Is actually looks like it's missing something. So we'll replace that. Tank is not even held together. So we have a lot of work to do. It should be fun though. Let's check out the parts that we got with it. So here we go. Here's the bucket of parts. The seat is actually in good shape. Some more body panel. This is a tray for the battery, I think. The front and back racks. Here's a tail light. Gosh, I don't know what that is. Does this even go to this thing? And we have a bucket, a bag of bolts that we have no idea where they go. Some sort of a body panel, not sure what that is. Some indicators, I think. It's like a neutral light. And maybe is this a reverse light? And I think this is where you put your feet. And then of course we got the shell of the body itself, which is dirty but in good shape. So because this thing's been sitting for a while, I tested the engine before I bought it, and it does turn, but it does not crank. I checked, it's not getting any spark. I pulled the spark plug out and stuck it in here, and I turned the engine over and there was no spark. So I think we'll probably have a lot of electrical gremlins going on here, so we're just gonna replace the whole wiring harness. I got every single wire for this thing on Amazon for like $40. Seemed worth it to me to eliminate some headache. I bought a new carburetor, a new master cylinder for the rear brake. It didn't come with a battery, so I bought a battery. Oh, chain. Here's the chain that it came with. It was pretty rusty. So I cleaned it up the best I could, and now it's soaking in some oil, so hopefully we can salvage that. If not, then we'll just buy a new chain. But I think we're just gonna get started on replacing all these electronic stuff, because I think it's been sitting out in the rain, and a lot of these, like this, is just, I don't even want to deal with it. So let's just replace it. All right. Step one, replace the wires. All right, so we got the complete wiring harnesses out. These two go in to the engine so they don't come off. The rest are cables. This goes into the throttle. So here's the rest of the wiring harness. The more I look at it, the more glad I am I just went straight to replacing all of it. It's just definitely has been weathered. But yeah, this has got spider webs and stuff all in it. So now that we have all the wires out, I think we have better access to the carburetor. So we can go ahead and do that since we have good access to it right now. And so that'll be next. Quick look at the new wiring harness. Like I said earlier, I got this from Amazon. It was $40, I think, for all of this. It comes with a new spark plug, new ignition, new handlebar control, ignition coil, the spark plug wire, new modules right here. So I think this should pretty much cover everything. So I don't think we're missing anything. Here's a new not distributor, but carburetor here. I think this was like $10 or $12. Comes with air filter, fuel filters. So hopefully all this will make a huge difference. Okay, so we're going to remove the carburetor now. Looks like a couple of bolts there, and the whole thing will pop off. And we've got a line underneath this one, fuel line right here, and this one goes to the throttle right here. So we're going to disconnect these two and then go from there. Okay. All right, got it off. I'm glad we decided to go ahead and replace this. I don't know if you can see in there, but see that white thing in there? That's spider eggs. And yeah, it just, let's just replace this thing. It's a mess. The vent tube down here is torn, and this thing is probably just complete junk. So, goodbye. And we're gonna stick the new one on here. Nice and shiny. And go from there. All right, got the new carburetor on there. I've never seen a carburetor like this before. I've never worked on that ATV or dirt bike like this before either. But basically, there's a cable that goes down into there, and it goes down in here. There's a spring in there, and when you pull the throttle, you can see the little guy in there moving up and down. All right, so while we're over here, we're gonna go ahead and take this case over here off. I think the magneto's underneath there. And we got a new one, so might as well replace it. So we're we're going to take these bolts, there's one underneath, and then just for clearance we're going to take this one off and pull this lever off. We're going to slide this case off and get to the magneto. Okay, well, I took the cover off and I'm glad I did, because it is a mess in here. There was a dirt dauber nest in there. There's part of it right there. So I'm glad I took this apart. So I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. We're gonna replace this part right here with the new one and put it back together. Okay, I ran into a couple of roadblocks here. Knew it was bound to happen. This is the old magneto. This is the new one. The new one doesn't fit. So we'll have to figure that out. Okay, since it looks like we're gonna have to wait for parts on the other side, let's go ahead and get this brake in. Here's the master cylinder here. Looks like it's missing some things. So 2 bolts there, and then 2 bolts down here, and it looks like that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, got a new master cylinder on there. I noticed that the old one has this plug on it and the new one doesn't. I assume it's some sort of safety feature. Maybe you have to have the brake down to start the engine or something. I'm assuming I can probably jumper it out, I guess. If you know what it is, leave a comment, let me know what it is and if I can jumper it out or if I need to salvage this piece off of here. I assume I probably wouldn't, but I don't know, let me know. I think we're going to end the video here. I need to order some more parts. I'm starting to question the rest of the wiring harness because that magneto over there didn't work. So I've got to find one of those, and on the next time we'll pick up replacing the rest of the wiring harness, getting it back together and see if we can't get it cranked. So by then we'll have a battery as well, and hopefully we can get it cranked up. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.